I discovered Pee Wee Herman through Tim Burton's film, and I've seen several of the other Pee Wee films, maybe them all, but I'd never watched Pee Wee's Playhouse. And Pee Wee's Playhouse Christmas Special is currently on Netflix, and it's just under an hour long, so I thought, what do I have to lose? I watched it, and I have two reactions. The first is that I'm definitely not the target audience, it's definitely aimed at children. But I also feel like it's one of the most intricate things I've ever seen. The set design is incredible, the costumes are delightful. There's a scene quite near the beginning, in fact, I think it's the opening scene, when about 30 male actors are dressed in military garb doing this weird dance to a song. And I just think these are probably largely Shakespearean actors, trained theatrical actors, and they're doing this. And it may not be the highlight of their career, but to watch it is great fun. So this was actually released in 1988. Does it feel dated? No, I don't think it does. I think it could appeal to children constantly. Directed by Wayne Orr and Paul Reubens, and obviously stars Paul Reubens as Pee-wee. Pee-wee seems to be more Pee-wee in this than he is in the Burton film. He seems to be a lot more extravagant and a lot more over the top. I don't know if that's generally what he's like in Pee-wee's Playhouse, but I assume that it would be. So this is basically where he's throwing a party in his playhouse, and we get to meet all of his friends like the floor and all of these different very odd creatures, who I'm sure are regular characters in the TV show, but if you haven't seen that, then it's a little bit bizarre. But everything is so fantastically creative with amazing editing. I don't want to spoil too much. I kind of think you can't really spoil this, but there's one point when he's playing with a yo-yo and special effects come in and he's walking the dog, but the yo-yo turns into a dog, and it's really cheesy and a bit odd. In fact, very odd. That's an understatement. But it's a lot of fun. It's very corny, very weird. Everything one would expect from Pee-wee. I think everywhere you look, there's just something peculiar. The set design is absolutely phenomenal. It really is outstanding. Absolutely incredible. And same with the costumes. They're so intricate, so beautiful, and very festive as well. This is not the most Christmassy Christmas special in the world, but it definitely maintains that Christmas aspect and that festive joy that's spread throughout the entire episode. The other thing about this that makes it a bit more palatable for, well, me as a 28-year-old, but also adults who are having to watch this with their young children, is that it does have a pretty strong celebrity cast. So I'm just going to pluck out some names, just to kind of give you a flavour of who you can expect to see in it. Obviously, Paul Reubens and Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, that was a huge surprise to me. Magic Johnson, Grace Jones, Little Richard, Joan Rivers, Oprah Winfrey, Zsa Gabor, Cher, uncredited. Honestly, seriously, it's a very odd cast. I'd love to know what the budget for this is. I don't have the information up in front of me. It was also awarded for nominated for 3 Emmys. It was nominated for Outstanding Achievement in Graphic Design and Title Sequence. Absolutely can see why that would get that. Art Direction, completely, and Outstanding Costume Design. It is an absolute visual treat. It's one of the most creative things I've ever seen, and I assume, and I can't assume this factually, that makes no sense, assumptions are never fact, but I can't really say this for certain, but I assume that it's just as creative as Pee-wee's Playhouse, but maybe on a slightly, I guess, grander scale. It is really brilliant in terms of the visuals, the quality, the editing, the creativity. It's insane. In terms of being gripping for an adult, no, not at all. But if you appreciate, if you've got a deeper interest in cinema, in cinematography and staging and mise en scène and everything, I think you'd thoroughly appreciate just how much work has gone into creating this. Children are easy to please. It doesn't need to be this over the top. but it gives it that little bit something else. And honestly, I felt like a kid again. Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas Special is pretty good fun.